pineapple under the sea.
The new smooth-riding Mitsubishi Endeavor. It's perfect for families. But who needs to know?
In a world about to change. In a place where anything can happen. One man must rise up and lead. AOL 9.0 Optimized is about to explode onto a screen near you. The New York Times raves terrific, streamlined, the internet sanitized for your protection. The Wall Street Journal cheers, the filters drastically cut spam. CNET declares, get a ton of content you can't get anywhere else. The critics agree, AOL returns to the top with new version 9.0. The thrilling online adventure begins. Life needs rave reviews.
This little tip is going to make a big difference for denture wearers.
Polygrip's unique ooze control tip spreads a flat ribbon for less ooze.
I get all the hold without all the ooze.
And try new Polygrip with Polyseal. Seals out food, seals in comfort.
Friday.
You said that you looked ripe for the plucking.
Here we go again.
Well, I haven't had sex in a year. You have not had sex for a whole year.
It's a brand new, supercharged interview with Angelina Jolie. Unpredictable and shockingly honest about everything in her
I
life.
can't imagine that they're not lining up. Maybe they will after this.
A Barbara Walters exclusive 2020 Friday.
Once again, Charles Gibson.
For Bruce McLaughlin, it's now all or nothing. He's just spent 4.5 years in prison. New evidence freed him, but it could be the test he takes in front of our cameras that will remove all doubts. More now with John Quinones.
Bruce! Hey! After his acquittal, Bruce McLaughlin is granted limited visitation with his kids on weekends and only with adult supervision. No way! This is home video of him with the kids just last Christmas.
Santa came last night.
Then, 2 months later, another bombshell. One of the McLaughlin's twin daughters comes forward with a new allegation.
Here's what we know. In March, Robin McLaughlin seeks a child protection order after Bruce takes the kids snowboarding in the mountains. She accuses him of fondling one of the girls while she sat in her father's lap during the drive home. Bruce says no, that his wife is once again putting ideas in their daughter's head. There were 8 people packed in that SUV, his 3 other kids, their grandmother, and 2 family friends. Did you fondle your daughter?
Absolutely not. This is just another attempt to alienate me from the children. And this process seems to never end.
Desperate to make it end, Bruce McLaughlin volunteers to undergo a grueling 10 hours of controversial psychosexual tests to prove that he is not in any way interested in sex with children.
I feel confident that the results will show that I'm in fact a normal guy.
And that you will be exonerated?
Yes, sir.
McLaughlin has hired forensic legal consultant Dean Tong, a father's rights advocate, to set up the test for him here in Boston.
How reliable is the science, these tests of today?
Well, they have about a 95 to 98% degree of specificity and sensitivity, so they're about as reliable as science as we have out there.
You'll be seated here.
Tong's expert is Dr. Joseph Plaude, a clinical psychologist who's interviewed hundreds of alleged sexual offenders in and out of prison.
Bruce, this test is designed to measure what you're sexually interested in.
What if Mr. McLaughlin is aroused by these images he sees? What if the test comes back and says he's capable of molesting children? What will you do?
Then, Houston, we have a problem. Make no mistake about it. I'm not, and this is not a how to get off child abuse defense team. If you did it, you're going down.
And the most private and controversial test is yet to come.
Mr. McLaughlin will attach a gauge to his penis.
It's called the penile plethysmograph, or PPG.
It measures the change in circumference of the penis when a person hears and sees sexually explicit material.
While the PPG does not measure culpability, it does measure propensity or sexual interest. So if the scenes and images McLaughlin sees and hears arouse him, the PPG will show it. The moment of truth.
He's putting the goggles on, which will project the visual image.
McLaughlin is alone with our cameras. We monitor them from the next room. For the next 90 minutes, he's shown images of adults and children and hears descriptions of explicit sex acts with them.
And this is the picture he's looking at?
That's correct. And you'll see here how what it's labeled, exhibiting himself to an adult female.
He would be exposing himself to her?
That's right.
Moments later, Bruce has shown an image of a young girl.
He's still at or near the baseline?
That's correct.
And it shows, so no arousal?
That's correct.
Could he somehow trick the PPG? Experts say no. Men are hardwired and cannot turn on and turn off. They can't hide what arouses them. Bruce has shown another image.
This depicts the rape of a young girl.
And suddenly we notice something else. He flinches and seems emotionally distressed. Listen closely.
This is a young girl. This is just a little young girl.
This child would be in the 8 to 10-year-old range.
Roughly the same age as Bruce's own twin daughters.
And so far the response?
He's not showing any response.
While he appears to be agitated by what he's looking at, that's about to change.
Trial lovemaking with an adult woman.
That's correct. Well, you're seeing a little bit of a response right away there. That is what you want to see on a plethysmographic chart.
So he's clearly not turning off all his responses.
He's very sexually engaged in that.
In fact, during the entire 90 minutes we observe Bruce McLaughlin, the only time he's ever aroused is during male-female encounters between consenting adults.
With women?
With adult females.
But more importantly, what about his arousal with children?
It was a relative aversion. He's in the minus.
And finally, perhaps the most telling images. He's now looking at pictures of his own twin daughters, and he's asked to imagine raping them. His arousal response measures in the minus.
I do have the data, and they are uniformly positive and very strong, supporting the fact that you have exclusive sexual arousal to adult females in consenting sexual activity.
So what does this story and these tests tell us about Bruce McLaughlin, his wife, and their kids?
Maybe these test results will show her, to some extent, that it's better to back off. It's better to accept the fact that maybe the children were never abused.
But Robin McLaughlin still insists they were abused.
He is guilty of sexually abusing his 4 children.
Dangerous?
Yes, dangerous.
Are you a tomboy?
I am a tomboy!
You want full custody?
Maybe it's in the children's best interest to live with their father.
This past month, Child Protective Services in Maryland ruled out abuse charges against Bruce McLaughlin. He believes the test you just saw helped his case. But just last week, according to Robin McLaughlin, one of Bruce's daughters told her therapist that he touched her inappropriately during a football game. Bruce McLaughlin says once again, he has been wrongly accused.
A race against time for a little boy who's aging at 10 times the normal rate.
Can you take video of me playing the piano?
Can his parents find the cause and the cure that medical science has missed before it's too late? Coming up next on Primetime.
You've been waiting to do this for years. Don't let arthritis pain keep you from not starting a little something, not making your move, not getting physical, not putting it together, not spicing things up, not loving the moment, not going for it all the way. Grab some Tylenol arthritis pain with the time-release formula for continuous all-day relief. It's the Tylenol for arthritis pain. Because not playing is not an option.
Introducing the new full-size Nissan Pathfinder Armada. With room for 8, who will you bring?
He relies on it. She relies on it. More and more people every day count on Verizon Wireless, the company that gives you America's largest, most reliable wireless network. And now you can also get unlimited night and weekend minutes to use coast to coast when on an America's Choice calling plan. Plus, get 2 Nokia phones for just $49.99 after mail-in rebates. So you can stay in touch with all the people you know. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Can you hear me now? Good.
It's not hard to remember to take the pill every day. It's just so easy to forget. But look at this. It's the birth control patch, Ortho-Evra. It's just as effective as the pill, but even simpler. Because one patch protects you for a whole week. It's incredibly thin and smooth. You could put it here, here, or here. And it stays put. Just peel and stick. That's how simple Ortho-Evra makes birth control.
The contraceptive patch contains hormones like those in birth control pills. Serious risks include blood clot, stroke, and heart attack. Cigarette smoking increases these risks, especially if you're over 35. Patch users are strongly advised not to smoke. Women with blood clots, certain cancers, a history of heart attack or stroke, and those who could be pregnant should not use the patch. The patch does not protect against HIV or sexually transmitted diseases. To learn more, talk to your healthcare professional.
So, if you don't want to have to remember the pill every day, put on the patch.
Ortho-Evra. On your body, off your mind.
TGIF Friday. Is George's daughter headed for serious trouble?
You want to see what happens when you start dating boys too early? Bad.
All new George Lopez. And Married to the Kellys is being called terrific.
Whoa.
And what else can an out-of-work actress do for a living?
I can cry on cue. What good is that going to do you?
I don't know it.
An all-new Hope and Faith. And Bonnie's house guest might be overstaying his welcome. The new Life with Bonnie. It's all part of TGIF. Starting 8/7 Central, ABC Friday.
When gang warfare ignites in his backyard.
17 murders in 6 days.
This cop will risk everything to save his neighborhood. Don't shoot! New LA Dragnet, ABC Saturday. Their clients can be crazy, but nothing's more insane than this. Sharon Stone and Chris O'Donnell guest star. A new practice after Alias, ABC Sunday starting 9/8 Central.
Our next story has all the earmarks of a great mystery, elusive clues, a hero in trouble, and a race to save him. But for Leslie and Scott Gordon, that mystery is taking place in their little boy's body. He's one of only 40 children in the world with an extremely rare disease, and they don't know it. Our story is how his desperate parents played detective and solved the mystery that confounded some of the best minds in science. Here's Chris Cuomo with A Race Against Time.
Look at that little nose. I can't believe this is my child.
Leslie Gordon embraces her new love, Sam, all 5 pounds, 10 ounces of him, during the first magical moments of life.
Got long fingers.
Baby's first bath. A kiss from Dad. Every month, something new and beautiful. Everything seems so normal. Sam learns to walk, loves to play. But then,
how long were you raising Sam before you noticed anything different than a normal child?
For me, around 9 months of age, when he just, something was wrong. I mean, I was with him every day, and obviously as a parent, and I kept saying, you know, there's something going on, there's something going on. Maybe at first it was just a feeling more than anything.
Up and down, all around town.
It seems the boy's growth has slowed dramatically. Leslie has mother's intuition and a medical degree, as does her husband, Scott. For over a year, Sam undergoes tests, but there are no answers, until a doctor friend suggests a genetic disease called Progeria, so rare it affects only 1 in 8 million children.
I went to the library and opened up an article about Progeria, and I looked at one of the pictures, and that was the moment for me when that was Sam right there, because these children look very much alike. that was when I had that sinking feeling that this was really something that was happening to Sam and to us.
Hi, Sam. The disease makes children age physically up to 10 times the normal rate, losing hair, getting arthritis, and usually dying of heart disease by age 13.
Part of what was also extremely difficult early on was the fact that I'm a pediatrician. I'm trained in pediatric emergency medicine. My mindset is to go in and to help and to fix things. And now we're told we have a diagnosis of progeria, and we're told there's nothing you can do about it. Your son's going to die.
You can't tell me that. You know, I'm a parent of a child with a terminal, with a disease, okay? Don't say no. You're not allowed to say, no, there's nothing you're going to be able to do, because that's just not the case.
Yeah. The Gordons decide to fight, and as you'll see, because of Sam, now there's hope. Leslie devotes herself full-time to researching, but at the same time, Mom doesn't want Sam's life to be about his disease. Physically, he may be twice the age of his parents, but in mind and spirit, he's just a 6-year-old boy.
Let's go, Sam! Let's go!
They're little leaguer. Jedi Knight. Master Chef.
Yeah! Awesome! Oh, man.
Comedian.
Why did the skeleton go to the grocery store?
I don't know why.
Because there's spare ribs.
Oh.
It's spare ribs.
When you look at your little boy, what do you see?
Oh, I see a great 6-year-old kid. I see somebody who's funny and smart and happy and jumping around and being a kid like he should be.
But how is he doing? How is he doing with his condition?
We're very lucky. Some children suffer earlier strokes and heart attacks than others. And so some children have a stroke at 4, 5, or 6 years old. But Sam is one of the lucky ones, I think, and he's doing real well and hasn't had any of those problems yet.
Sam has stopped growing up normally and started growing old. The clock runs ever faster as the Gordons fight to save the life of their only child.
A possible breakthrough.
Francis said, I think you might want to get your husband. My body started to tingle.
Can a medical mystery turn into a miracle? When Prime Time continues.
Room service. Your grape nuts, sir.
It'd take 4 bowls of grape nuts to get the B vitamins in just 1 bowl of total.
That's a manly breakfast. Your raisin bran.
10 bowls to equal the zinc in total.
I'll keep the gym open. Your special K, Miss.
40 bowls to equal the calcium in total.
Late checkout this morning?
You need Total. It's got a 100% daily value of 12 vitamins and minerals. No other leading cereal comes close.
Bowl of Total,
I'll take Total.
Kitchen's just closed.
Total Raisin Bran. 1 bowl, 100%.
Yes, I hear it. It's there. I see it.
Do you have any clue where we're going?
Yes.
You pointing, but I can't.
For the perfect road trip, hop into your Corolla and head on over to Universal.
We're close.
Joanne is a 33-year-old small business owner looking for a more professional image.
You know, she needs to update her look a lot.
You need to project an image that is attractive and interesting.
Joanne is ready for the ultimate makeover.
We're just so excited.
What a difference. It looks great.
Joanne now has new computers, cordless phones, PDAs, and new furniture.
Office Depot Total Office Solutions. Technology, furniture, and smart ways to put it all together.
It's absolutely changed my life.
It's me. This is my voice. I own it. Quite frankly, I made it. You hear me? You hear what I'm saying? Here's a little word I like. Man. Just like the way it sounds. Go get your own sound. This one's mine, man.
Cingular connects you to the technology with the truest sound in wireless. Just look for the Cingular Smart Chip. Proof that we take your voice very seriously.
I call it my Trust Your Voice to Cingular plan.
Truest sound. Another reason Cingular fits you best.
Sunday, a rookie reaches out.
You want to tell me who did this to you?
To a boy in distress.
You want to be a social worker or a police officer?
10-8 officers on duty. Then, enemies are friends.
Miss me?
And friends become enemies.
You never should have betrayed me.
A new alias. Then, some of their cases are crazy, but no one is more insane than their newest attorney.
Get out!
Sharon Stone guest stars on an all-new Practice. Starting 8/7 Central, ABC puts on Sunday's Best. Tuesday.
Hey, Diane, what are you doing here?
An old friend comes home
There's something going on with her.
to an unforgettable new blue with a shocking secret
Stays between us.
that could destroy her
I can help you with this, whatever it is.
and everyone she loves. Kim Delaney is back in blue. New NYPD Blue, ABC Tuesday, 10/9 Central. Viewer discretion advised.
The hunt for a miracle is on, led by the little boy who's lost his childhood, but hasn't lost his spirit.
I see somebody who's funny and smart and happy and jumping around and being a kid like he should be.
Fighting for Sam. When Primetime continues after this from our ABC stations.
Tonight on KOMO 4 News, Seth is only 10 years old, a brave local boy with Progeria.
I don't know. I just don't want anybody to feel sorry for us in that sense because, you know, I'll miss him for a while, but I'll be with him again.
What his mom wants you to know about her little boy.
Our life here is short anyway. His is shorter than ours.
Seth and his mom Patty share their inspiring story on KOMO 4 News at 11 o'clock. First for local news.
If you love the holiday season, plan now to attend this year's Tacoma Holiday Food and Gift Festival, Wednesday, October 22nd through Sunday the 26th in the Tacoma Dome. A spectacular holiday setting filled with hundreds of exhibits featuring arts and crafts, unique gifts, gourmet foods, decoration ideas for your home, and live entertainment. Bring the kids to see Santa. Don't miss the Tacoma Holiday Food and Gift Festival, October 22nd through the 26th in the Tacoma Dome. See holidaygift.shows.com. You'll love it.
Ford trucks are proven leaders in the Northwest. And with Ford truck season, it's going to stay that way. With your choice of 0% financing or $3,000 cash back on Ford Super Duty. Time is running out to save big on a 2003 Super Duty. The truck with the most towing of any pickup on earth. That's your choice of 0% financing or $3,000 cash back. Plus make no payments till January 04. You want a proven leader? Then look again to Ford truck season. Only at your Northwest Ford stores.
It's a brand new week on Wheel of Fortune. We're giving away trips to the Great Northwest, cars, and big money.
We have money to burn.
Catch all the action this week on Wheel.
Weeknights at 7 on KOMO 4.
At 11, a local woman's close call when this crashed into her bedroom.
Once again, Diane Sawyer.
As we continue, Scott and Leslie Gordon, parents, doctors themselves, have discovered the unthinkable. That their beautiful only child, Sam, has an extremely rare disease, Progeria, that makes him age 10 years for every one of the 7 he's lived so far. Now, they turn one of the greatest medical mysteries into a medical miracle. More with Chris Cuomo.
Can you take video of me playing the piano, please?
I'll take video of you doing whatever you want me to do. Okay.
Are you going to play the piano now?
Yeah.
This 7-year-old boy is trapped in the body of a 70-year-old man. Sam's disease, Progeria, is Greek for prematurely old.
When we look at Sam, I don't see Progeria. I see Sam.
That's it. Reggie, okay, Reggie?
Sam is filled with energy, but his cells are dying. The disease is attacking his cells. Just one of the roughly 30,000 genes in his body could cause the disease.
Are you really sleeping? Because I was hoping you could come make pizza with us.
So to find a cure, the Gordons need a gene hunter. They find Dr. Francis Collins, one of the best.
You know that there is an answer, and you have to keep creatively chasing after the culprit.
Collins has chased genetic culprits for hundreds of diseases, but Progeria presents a unique challenge. A gene hunter usually starts with the family tree, looking for a pattern. But Progeria is a mutation, so it's not passed down.
Here's a disease that never recurs in families, which means that wherever the glitch is in the DNA, it could be anywhere, and all of the methods that we normally use to find the answer don't apply because we don't have families with more than one case. So this was an almost impossibly difficult problem.
The Gordons start the Progeria Research Foundation, raising money and combing the globe for DNA samples from families of children with progeria.
It's rare, okay? You need lots and lots and lots of samples in order to make something happen.
The foundation is making progress, but their little boy is showing more signs of the disease. Poor eyesight, stiffness in his joints. Still, there's no slowing him down.
I remember a time when he came home and he was saying, you know, this kid was saying, oh, you don't have any hair. And so we asked him, so what did you do? What did you say? And Sam's response was, I told him, yeah, tell me something I don't know. Let's go play.
Sam is a constant reminder of their dual reality, the grip of the disease and the determination to beat it.
I have learned the true power of hope.
This is what we do, but when it comes to home life, it's home life. It's right now, it's every day, it's a huge part of our lives. It's a very small part of Sam's life, and that's how it should be.
Yet despite their optimism, they know they have little time. A year goes by. Days are spent working for a cure, but hoping for a miracle. Then, last October, unexpectedly, a breakthrough.
And Leslie got on and she said, wait, before you tell me anything, I have to tell you something just in case this is a significant moment. It's our wedding anniversary.
And Francis said, I think you might want to get your husband. My body started to tingle.
We told her the news. We found the cause of progeria. What a moment. What a moment.
A moment that I had dreamed of day and night for 4 years, and there it was.
In less than a year, the research pays off. From comparing a DNA sample of only 20 progeria children to a normal gene, they see a common chromosome glitch that almost all of the children share.
Think of the human genome as an instruction book, because that's a pretty good analogy. It's got 3 billion letters in it. It's written in this funny language that just has these 4 letters in the alphabet, A, C, G, and T.
And somewhere in those 3 billion letters, one was misspelled.
And by gradually narrowing it down from looking at the right encyclopedia volume to the right chapter, to the right page, to the right letter, we found that T that should have been a C. And that told us this must be the answer. This is the cause of progeria.
Even more staggering, Collins believes the discovery could lead to drugs to combat the aging process itself. To find out, he's joined forces with a pharmaceutical company, medical researcher Bard Giesemann.
You can think of it, for example, as like a string of dominoes, that when you line them up, you knock down that first domino and everything sort of falls. Well, there might be one domino that you'll be able to, with a drug, essentially put their finger on one of those dominoes and prevent all these negative consequences from happening.
And something in Sam's DNA may be that one essential domino. But while Collins' findings may someday help millions, will they be in time for the little boy who got it all started?
If a treatment doesn't come along fast enough to help Sam, what do you do?
None of us know what's going to happen to us. And so we do. We take it one day at a time, just like every other family. We enjoy every day. You played with Sam this morning, right? Didn't it take about 2 minutes for you to forget that he had a disease once he was bouncing around and playing games?
The gene is found. The race for a cure is on its way. Sam has helped bring about major discoveries about progeria and about life.
Sam has taught me the deeper meaning of life, no question about it. I know now that every day is precious and I don't have to think about the end.
To appreciate and live life to the fullest. A lesson taught by a little boy named Sam.
One of the most striking things he has said recently, he said, I'm not a disease, I'm a person. A 6-year-old said that. And so that, I think, really is a strong message, really for all of us.
information on the Progeria Research Foundation. Go to abcnews.com. Next, hospitals making life and death decisions on who gets donor organs and who doesn't. Did some patients die as a result?
He might have been with his family where he belonged. He might have been able to see his grandkids grow.
Coming up next on Primetime.
Another shower? She must really love water. What is she? A duck? Uh-oh, puddle alert. I didn't do it. Wasn't me. Don't look at me. Okay, this isn't gonna clean itself up. Let's go, snap two.
New Cottonelle Ultra.
Let's go, snap two.
New Cottonelle Ultra toilet paper. The softest, thickest, most absorbent Cottonelle.
Hey, I thought I was the only one allowed to go naked around here.
Cottonelle, looking out for the family.
Pineapple under the sea.
The new smooth-riding Mitsubishi Endeavor. It's perfect for families. But who needs to know?
Oh, what a night.
Aren't you glad we're home? Doesn't that bed just cold to you?
It's different for people with acid reflux disease.
It's saying, when you lie down, you'll have heartburn hot enough to steam the wrinkles right out of your jammies.
Ask your doctor about the purple pill called Nexium. For many people, with one prescription Nexium daily, heartburn goes away and stays away.
I can almost hear that acid wearing away the lining of your esophagus.
And Nexium actually heals acid reflux erosions in the esophagus. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. Talk to your doctor. The most common side effects of Nexium are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Don't let acid reflux keep you up.
Sweet dreams.
Relief, healing, Nexium.
So, we're all here because of this Windex multi-surface with vinegar? Yeah, looks like trouble.
Windex multi-surface with vinegar. You can use it most everywhere to clean lots of surfaces. In your bathroom, your kitchen, all over your home.
Multi-surface? Hey, Wilson, fly down and see if it works on glass, too. Yup, works on glass.
Windex multi-surface with vinegar. Multi-surface means multi-shine. For a wipe with the power to handle tough cleaning jobs, reach for new Windex vinegar wipes.
Look good. Really, really good. Now get 50% off all lenses. That's any lens, any prescription. Lens Crafters, you'll see, we're better.
Thousands of you begged and pleaded for a chance to sing a dream duet with Rod Stewart. And tomorrow, Rod brings one lucky viewer's dream to life on Good Morning America. And tomorrow, the First Lady, the Nobel Peace Prize winner. What do they have in common? Both were chosen Person of the Week. So who will it be next? Find out tomorrow on World News Tonight.
Monday, ABC presents a bonus episode of Threat Matrix.
Their business is killing Americans.
A Veterans Day celebration could become a battlefield.
We should assume there's another bomb.
No! Threat Matrix on a special night Monday following football on ABC.
The last time I checked, no one ever won just because they kept a nice, clean crease in their pants.
The Chrysler Classic of Greensboro, Sunday 3 Eastern on ABC.
Recently, we at Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza asked moms to try our new signature pizzas. They loved the braided crust and the gourmet fresh ingredients. Then, we showed them the price. We couldn't have said it better ourselves. Papa Murphy's new signature pizzas. Unbelievable pizzas at an unbelievable price. Now try our new large Italian signature pizza with chunky Italian sausage for just $6.99. From our kitchen to your oven, Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. A fresh way of making pizza.
Situation. A member of your family is dying, and the organ that he or she needs to stay alive goes to someone else, not because they need it more, but because their hospital is trying to make money by doing more transplants. Well, prosecutors say it has happened, and happened when close to 2,000 people a year die waiting for donor livers. Here's senior correspondent Chris Wallace.
The clock was ticking, and time was not in Jerry's favor.
For Jerry and Sally Mikesell of Peoria, Illinois, every minute counted. He had serious liver disease and desperately needed a transplant. His only chance to go on the waiting list for a donor organ.
It's the only hope that you have. It's a lifeline.
Over the months, Jerry wasted away, losing more than 100 pounds. But the Mikesels never lost hope, because as each new organ is donated, the rules of the waiting list specify the sickest patients are first in line. You and your husband put your trust in this waiting list and in the way it was operated.
We trusted that what the doctors were doing was fair, and we trusted that what they were doing was in our best interest.
But what if doctors didn't follow the rules? What if they lied about their patient's condition to jump them up the waiting list ahead of people who needed transplants more desperately? Well, federal prosecutors say that's exactly what happened at some of the biggest hospitals here in Chicago.
They committed a fraud on the program, and they arranged to have people get liver transplants ahead of people who deserve them more urgently.
U.S. Attorney Patrick Fitzgerald charges that hospitals at Northwestern University, the University of Chicago, and the University of Illinois all put profits over people's lives, that they manipulated the waiting list to corner the market on scarce livers and the millions of dollars that come with doing liver transplants. Which brings us to this man who helped stop the alleged abuse, one of the world's leading transplant surgeons, who says he's been forced into a sort of medical exile ever since he blew the whistle.
It's the Walmart principle that volume drives the business.
But wait a minute, you're talking Walmart. This is liver transplants. This is a matter of who lives and who dies.
But it's a business.
Dr. Raymond Pollock, born in South Africa, was in charge of the University of Illinois at Chicago's transplant department. Pollock says in the mid-90s, he noticed other hospitals were suddenly filled with an astonishing number of liver patients they said were critically ill.
So either something was bad in the water in Chicago, or we had a serious problem with liver disease that no one else seemed to have.
Then Dr. Pollock says, to his shock, it started happening at his hospital. He says patients listed as level 3 on the waiting list, still healthy enough to live at home, were being checked in supposedly in critical condition. Pollock says some of his colleagues were jumping their patients up the list, falsely listing them as level 1, likely to die in 7 days without a transplant. Doctors would lie about the specific medical conditions of their patients.
They would claim the patients were unconscious on the same day that the patient was down in the physical therapy department on a treadmill.
You're kidding.
I kid you not. And in some instances, getting weekend passes to go home.
So these are people that are level 1, supposedly within 7 days of dying, and they're going home for the weekend?
That's correct. Going to pay a parking ticket. One woman was even in a clown costume promoting a blood drive.
If you still can't believe it, listen to the story of Gary Rode. He was a level 3 patient, healthy enough to keep working on a loading dock. But his sister Terry says doctors at the University of Illinois at Chicago kept pressing him to get a transplant.
He was told he was going to be taken over to the hospital in a wheelchair because then they could lower his level from a 3 to a 2 or a 1. Because that way they would say that he was sicker and so sick he couldn't walk over.
But Terry says despite the pressure, she and her brother refused to go along.
If you have not gotten sicker, then why are you getting a transplant when another human being could use that liver and maybe live?
And what happened to other patients who were sicker and needed those livers right away?
Our conventional wisdom is that they either got sicker, were bypassed, or in fact passed away waiting for those livers.
Do you believe that some patients died needlessly because of this practice?
I do believe that.
Why would any doctor do such a thing? Pollock says the answer is money. At $250,000 per transplant, he says the hospitals wanted to do as many as possible.
Imagine the amount of money you can generate by having people walk through the door all begging for liver transplants, many of whom perhaps in the long run may not need them.
Doctors and hospitals were gaming the transplant waiting lists for profit?
I believe they were.
So Pollock went on a crusade, complaining to administrators about what he said was the abuse of the transplant waiting list. Nurses in the intensive care unit also warned the university about the unethical practices being employed by the liver transplant team. Finally, Pollock was called to a meeting with the dean of the medical school, Dr. Gerald Moss.
And he asked me, quote, what was wrong with doing things the Chicago way?
In other words, if other institutions are cheating and getting away with it, you should too?
That's what I was being asked. That's correct.
Dean Moss and the university refused to comment on Pollock's account of the meeting.
Dr. Pollock wrote letters and complained to his superiors for years about patients being admitted to the intensive care unit here, who he says didn't need such drastic treatment. Finally, the University of Illinois at Chicago did something about it. They removed Pollock as head of the transplant division.
To think that my own institution would seek to punish me for doing the right thing. That's how we raise our children. Do the right thing. They were willing to take me and basically throw me aside as so much garbage.
I can see the hurt in your eyes still.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And her husband.
Pollock's family says the struggle has taken a terrible toll on him. He says he's been prevented from practicing transplant surgery, and his salary has been cut by 2/3. He tried to look for new jobs, but says the university told other hospitals it couldn't provide a reference on the advice of its lawyers. But Pollock still wasn't beaten. He walked into the federal building in Chicago and told prosecutors what was going on.
3 of Chicago's most prominent hospitals tonight stand accused of organ transplant fraud.
When word of the government's case broke, it was big news in Illinois. And no one was hit any harder than Sally Mikesell of Peoria. Remember, her husband Jerry waited for months for a transplant. His liver never came, and Jerry died.
I couldn't believe that anyone who had the power to make life and death decisions would abuse it. There are a lot of people, I'm sure, affected by those decisions in that flawed system.
Sally says she wonders if someone who was jumped up the list at another hospital may have gotten the liver that would have saved her husband.
He might have been with his family where he belonged. He might have been able to see his grandkids grow. Yeah.
While it comes too late for Jerry Mikesell, the transplant waiting list has now been reformed. Placement of patients is now determined by medical tests, not just a doctor's word.
We don't think the case is likely to settle.
And what about the man who fought so hard to clean up the system?
So do you think I need
Dr. Pollock has filed a lawsuit claiming his hospital punished him for not going along with the fraud. But his once brilliant career has reached a dead end. He works only 1 day a week, making the 3-hour drive to a job at the University of Illinois Hospital in Peoria. He teaches there, but no longer does transplants.
So you want to look at purplish discoloration of the skin?
At the same time, many of those he accuses of committing fraud have been promoted.
Looking at it objectively, have they won and have you lost?
No, I won, because I maintained my integrity. I maintained the integrity of the system. And if I was to be faced with a circumstance of a similar nature in the future, I think I would do exactly the same.
The hospitals turned down our request for an interview, but say they did nothing wrong and stand by their patient care. Northwestern and the University of Chicago say their suits revolved around accounting discrepancies and were settled for small amounts of money. The government is still pursuing its suit against the University of Illinois, which says it's working to resolve the matter and that it will vigorously contest Dr. Pollock's claims of retaliation.
Primetime Thursday. We'll be back with more.
A driver electrocuted in the fall storm, how he was just trying to help.
Plus how playground equipment might have saved these kids' lives.
And Boeing does away with the 757. How many people could lose their jobs right away?
Applebee's Take Two is back.
One can have a dream, baby. Two can make that dream so. It takes two, baby. It takes two, baby. Make a dream come true.
Applebee's Take Two.
Just take two.
Choose 2 of your favorite entrees for one mouth-watering plate.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Introducing the new full-size 305 horsepower Nissan Pathfinder Armada. It's got room for 8 people and all their stuff. It's a full-size SUV. For your full-size adventures.
Mind if I sit down? Oh, were you looking at my outfit? I know, isn't it great? You know what else I got? Look at this. I have 2 words for you. Bargain. What does it say to you? Fun, flirty, sexy? You know what it said to me? Buy me. To die for?
If you haven't heard, the Burlington Coat Factory has famous label women's wear for less than department store sale prices.
What do you think?
Chances are you will.
You're speechless?
Burlington Coat Factory. It's more than great coats.
Oh, I think I got shopper's elbow. Can you hear that click?
Can you hear me? Why am I whispering? Because I'm about to talk about health care. And there are many people out there with lots of money on the line who don't want us to talk about health care. You know it's a mess. It underdelivers. The costs are unbelievable. The toll it takes on so many, unbearable. And this is if you have insurance. How about the millions of Americans with no insurance at all? That's costing all of us. It's unsettling and unnerving, and it's been underreported until now. ABC News. For one full week,